Hi all. Today we are going to raise a very important issue. Instead of unemployment issue, raise the issue of creation and distribution of abundance. No, so unemployment is the issue that is raised across the world right now. We have to solve the unemployment issue. How do we really solve the unemployment issue? But I think the real issue that should be raised now is creation and distribution of abundance, and we'll see why. So first we'll see how rising automation is affecting everybody, right? So this is one very important research by McKinsey that automation and AI could affect 50% of the world's workforce. The World Economic Forum says that 85 million could be displaced in the shift of division of labor between humans and machines by 2025, and that is just next year, right? 85 million jobs are not a joke. Then the only secure uh, like avenues for humankind are critical thinking and analysis, which is a very high human endeavor. Not everybody can do that. Now let's take a look at completely replaceable jobs, right? So these are data entry, telemarketing, cashier, driver, travel agent. So these, if you look at these kind of jobs, these compromise of 30 to 50% of the entire workforce, right? So we are talking about 30 to 50% of the entire workforce getting automated. And just make a close note of, okay, what kind of people these are, what kind of educational background they have, right? What kind of an IQ they have. And then let's take a look at the secure jobs, right? Human resource managers, sales managers, marketing managers, CEOs, event planners, software developers, editors. Now these comprise just 2 to 5% of the entire jobs. And even they are not very secure because AI is affecting all these fields. And like as you know, like fewer and fewer software developers also would be needed, right? So that being said, the problem is that can we teach AI to truck drivers? Now, the very general idea in this is, can we teach complex skills to the normal people doing normal jobs, right? Now we have to think about the stock problem over here. The stock problem is we need like 3 to 5 years, or at least like a decent time gap to retrain the entire population, right? And not everybody is in that phase that you can retrain them to the highest extent, right? Even AI was a skill. Being from a computer science background, I know how difficult it is to teach AI skills to a normal software engineer, right? And if a software engineer is finding it difficult to learn AI skills, think about the normal people. Also, my intuition as an engineer is, as AI and humanoid technology tends to AGI, no job is secure, right? Now, AI technology, everybody is aware of, like ChatGPT, like more complex models coming up, right? And humanoids are those robots that can perform human-like tasks, right? And as this is tending to AGI, now AGI is artificial general intelligence. Now, the thing is, artificial general intelligence could be really far off, right? It could be like 5 years, maybe even 10 years. But the thing is, it is tending to that, right? If you see the GPTs in ChatGPT right now, right, you could see database designer GPTs, code to Figma GPTs. No, these were very complex tasks to be done by like decently like skilled people, and those are being done like just like that. And this has been the constant theme across, right? We are constantly solving like these intellectual problems. And the job market, like one of my mentors, David Chapario, has coined a term, economic agency, for this, right? The economic agency of people has really been shrinking, right? It, like, we don't have that kind of economic agency as we had previously. So are there any solutions for these? So two solutions are mainly talked about. One is wealth distribution, that is talked about mainly by Thomas Piketty, where he talks about ki we introduce a 2% tax on the world's richest and we distribute the wealth, right? And then there is also a much talked about concept called as universal basic income. Even Congress is talking about it, like, drilled down version of universal basic income for the 30% of India's poor. Right. So these are the two concepts that are mostly talked about for this solution or for this problem. Uh, Now I have one critique. I mean, I have few critiques about the wealth distribution solution. Now I don't entirely disregard the solution, but the problem is that it is top down, right? Governments have to really implement this, and till it is not implemented by a very powerful party, we are just helpless, right? The 99% of us are just helpless. I mean, what to do about it? And then the other problem that I have with this is it tends to keep the poor people poor, right? It doesn't build systems for them. It doesn't build economic agency for them. It is making them forever dependent on government subsidies, right? Or government basic income, or it is forever making them dependent on a universal basic income. So this is my critique about wealth distribution. And regarding UBI in India, India's population is huge, right? Even Congress's 30% UBI is for just the 30%, right? And it is also a huge burden on the taxpayers. So this being said, what is the solution that I look forward to? Right? So what are the solution that I propose? I am more of a fan of bottom-up solutions than top-down solutions, right? So I propose something called as HubSI and PTP economics. Now, HubSI, I have already made a video on HubSI. It is humanitarian product service intelligence, wherein uh, the intelligence of all the products and services available to mankind is stored, and we generate systems wherein the systems are systematically transferred from the 1% of the population to the 10% of the population, right? And then we talk about PTP economics, right? So in PTP economics, there is a conscious trickle down, right? The trickle down first reaches those sections of the society which are entirely humanitarian. Say, for example, teachers, doctors, or even social entrepreneurs, right? And then it reaches the other people. So, like the entire humanity is then covered by a very good security net, because security net is not just physical infrastructure or financial infrastructure, it is also the people's infrastructure. And PTP economics seeks to protect those people first. Then there is investing in HubSI assets. So HubSI assets, you all know the problem with publicly owned assets, right? That is why communism did not work. So what if the private equity in this kind of assets were like 10%? So we are like, for 10% you can profit from those assets. And these assets could be machinery, these assets could be software systems. And then these machinery and these systems are working for the financial freedom of everyone, right? Say, for example, a biscuit making machinery which is making decent profits, and all the biscuits are then distributed for people who are doing social service, right? Uh, so this is the combination of PTP economics and HubSI assets in a way. Uh, so then there's also intellectual property reservation, wherein reservation is a very highly contended issue in India, wherein it is almost a zero-sum game, wherein I have to lose something if the other person is getting a reservation, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. A large section of the society could get intellectual property reservation, right? In the intellectual property reservation in the form of medicine, intellectual property is reserved in medicine, intellectual property is reserved in education, and those prices could fall drastically, and then these people could become a more contributing factor in the entire society, right? So this is something that we are working on as a draft, right? So these are the few ideas that I could think of with my limited thinking potential with my limited resources that I have, right, of creation and distribution of abundance. If we think more deeply about how we can create and distribute abundance, because the thing is, like, we are coming into a different age, right? We are coming into an age where like ChatGPT is there, right? Like large language models are there. Intelligence is highly automated. Human labor is highly automated, and all that could be used for creation and distribution of abundance. We just need to figure out how do we distribute this abundance more prudently in order to bring a new era for the mankind. So that's it for today.